Alright, time for some solo gathering in the roads of Avalon. This time I did remember to put away my bag because I don't need it at all. And my gear that I'm using is only worth 550k. And the stuff in my inventory is actually more valuable than the equipment I have here right now. Don't really need a bag because my ox has definitely enough carry weight. And I don't need potions because there's absolutely nothing I can do. If I lose my ox, I am just dead. I wonder if I maybe should go a little bit deeper into the black zone before I enter the roads. But to be honest, I can probably just go immediately into the roads because I'm planning to gather on the brown streets. There may actually be more gankers here in the start map. I'm super close to Bridgewatch right now, obviously. So maybe that's a factor. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's good to just move a little bit further away from town. I am interested in gathering the big 6.1 fiber stack down there. And I think, since I just want to gather everything in this, on the brown streets in this map, maybe I'll just walk this way. Take the fastest possible way, basically. Let's take all of this stuff. I'll basically take the most, like the fastest possible way over these brown streets here. It's not really the fastest way. If I went the golden streets, I would have the speed bonus from the arrows. But otherwise, I would not really gather these brown streets right here. And I do want to take everything, basically. But this way I'm still very quickly there. I'm not sure if it's such a good idea to go for the big stack in a road that is so close to Bridgewatch. I don't know how contested those 6.1 stacks are. They are definitely pretty solid, but you do need a rather high carry weight, to be honest, to really have a lot of benefit. You basically need to be at least half a gatherer. Otherwise, I think I would not be going for those. But I think I will take the stack and then go to the blue chest. I think that is going to be the way to go. Then the question only is, what do I want to do with these brown streets down here? I can check them out later as well, at the end. Because as I said, I basically want to check out everything. Only 3 out of 30. Okay. But I could also do these brown streets right here already now, instead of walking this way. But then I will probably never walk this way. Which is not really a problem, to be honest. These places here are, I think, a little bit more promising. I think they have a slightly higher chance to give me what I'm looking for, which are 6.3 animals. Basically. I mean, anything on 6.3 will be amazing. But animals are definitely the most expensive thing I can find. To be honest, 6.3 stone will not be amazing, I believe. I don't remember if I have already checked the price for 6.3 stone. On the NA server it definitely was terrible compared to everything else on 6.3. But maybe here on the EU server, maybe it's not that terrible. These amazing hidden treasures, just giving tons of cash. Which way do I want to go? But tier 6 stone is not completely terrible here on the EU server. Like it's worth 600 or something, 667. Almost 700 silver per piece. That's not that terrible. That's basically a resource worth gathering when you have a lot of carry weight. Which I currently definitely do. I do have a lot of carry weight. 1651 kilogram. Because of my tier 6 ox. I wonder how much carry weight a tier 8 ox has. I believe something around 2200 or some... Yeah, something like that. Which is not that much more, to be honest. But generally my plan is always to just teleport home after I'm done with a roads map. So I also don't really need more carry weight, to be honest. Unless I find, like, I don't know, 4.3 old resource mobs, which I actually cannot find here. Because I'm in a tier 6 map. It's simply not possible for me to find these things. So I actually don't know if there's even a situation where I would need more carry weight. The only possibility for needing more carry weight than what my tier 6 ox is offering me would be just venturing deeper into the roads. But for now I really like this brown streets gathering style. Was already quite efficient on the NA server. I've tried it there too, and there the resources are less valuable. Here, like in the last run, I almost got 2 million per hour, which is pretty decent, I would say. So, I think I want to do more of this. On the NA server I was very often trying to just go very deep and find something. Here I quite often find tier 7 resources. Tier 7 resources are good but not amazing. When I'm like running around doing PvE combined with PvP in the roads. Yeah, I usually find a decent amount of tier 7 resources. Not so much of tier 8, which would be very interesting for the future, because I do think it will not take me very long to get at least like 2 professions up to tier 8. But once I get 2 more professions up to tier 8, I think I will run into learn point problems. I only have 770 learn points right now. And getting Grandmaster Fiber and Grandmaster Ore will already cost me 700 learn points. Up until the point that I managed to reach skinning tier 8, I think I will have enough learn points already again. But it's very possible that when I reach whatever resource I get to tier 8 as the third, I will already, I think, struggle to... I will probably need to wait some time, basically, until I get enough learn points again to be able to actually level up. Maybe I'm going to reduce it a little bit by, you know, just continue gathering that resource type and likewise needing less learn points to actually push it up to tier 8. Generally, reaching tier 8 for every resource is just insanely valuable. Using these higher tier gathering tools increases the gathering speed by so insanely much. It's just crazy. Such a huge advantage. But to be honest, like, these gathering tools are super expensive here. On the NA server they were like 100k per tool on tier 8. And here above 200k. That's really something. But considering that all the resources are basically 2 to 3 times as valuable as the resources on the NA server, it's probably actually fine. And probably the better potential situation. Because when considering that I die like maybe every... something between every 10th and 20th gathering run. Like I survive 9 to 19 times out of 10 or 20. Then costing a little bit more, but getting 2 or 3 times the money is definitely... Wait a second, I actually got 2 babies. Okay, not bad, I'm not going to complain. Just a quick 110k or 120k even. Not bad, not bad. And this can just happen, I guess. Considering that I survive most of the time and make 2 or 3 times the amount of money that I did on the NA server, it is definitely fine to have my gathering tools cost a little bit more and lose like 1 million more, but instead make like, let's say if I get twice the amount of money per time. So if I, let's say, gather 8 times in a month for 1 hour, which is approximately, I guess, 2 million per hour. It will be a little bit higher in the future, because I will gather much quicker and get a higher gathering bonus. So it's going to be more if the prices stay the same, which they may not. They may go down a little bit, but who knows. Let's say 2 million compared to the probably 1 million per hour on the NA server. I mean, on the NA server, when I was really trying hard to make as much profit as possible, I was probably getting on average 1.5 million per hour. If I try to put the outliers, the positive outliers, into the equation, sometimes getting much higher amounts. But let's take the outliers out of the equation for now, because the outliers are not that crazy and they happen very rarely. So let's take them out, because I will have outliers here as well. If I find like 6.3 animals in one run, then I will just have made 1 million extra, for example. Or if I find a legendary mist with an 8.2 resource mob, then I will also get an additional 1 million or 2 million. So let's not think about those. So let's say 1.5 million on the NA server, and here I will probably make, at the current state with tier 8 stuff, will probably make 2.5 million. 8 times a month is 12 million compared to 16 plus 8, no, 4, 20. Now I actually forgot the first number. What was I saying? 12? 12 to 20 million? That's just 1 month, that's just gathering 8 times. Usually I don't die this often, so let's say I will die once in 2 months. So it's going to be 24 million loot compared to 40 million loot. And when I die, I will lose 1 million more. Totally a good trade. Totally a worthwhile trade. Having a little bit more risk, basically. Like, the risk is not more, but how do you say this? The loss is more higher. More. Another baby, okay. 3 babies already. The loss hurts more, basically. But I'm 16 million richer, so only 15 million because I lose 1 million more. But still, 15 million more than gathering on the NA server under the conditions there. Definitely worth it. I do want to check out this brown street here. There's a circle. Circles are usually good. Circle around the lake. Usually there are like 2 times 2 resource mobs. Unless the map is heavily armed, let's say. Rather often there are 2 resource mob groups. In the last map that I've been in doing like Roads of Avalon gathering, this wasn't the case. But it felt like this map that I was in generally didn't have very much of those resource mobs that I'm looking for, which was kind of weird, because I did have different experiences before. Only finding 1 resource mob so far here around this lake. A bad sign, potentially, but who knows. We'll see what's in the north of this. I don't know if you can call this lake, but I also don't know the English word for very, very, very small lakes, let's say. There's probably a name for it in English as well, but I of course only do know the German one. Really only 1 resource mob there at the tiny lake. Very sad. Not very many resource mobs here either. I actually didn't need to reset. I did already reset. It seems like this position here should be fine. This Pathfinder mage should not be too close to interrupt me. I mean, it's of course not that terrible to actually kill all those normal roads mobs, to be honest. They do give decent fame. Definitely a legit fame farming method to just kill all of them. I could basically just use some high DPS gear right here. Just use something with cloth, basically. And either with sustain or just high DPS. And just kill all the normal mobs while I'm doing this. I would not need to switch my food for most of the mobs, I think. Even though the quarter stuff guys are pretty annoying. If I think about like actually using, for example, a cursed that basically likes to stand around AFK while fighting. Just channeling the W. But they were changed. Water stuff doesn't have its undodgeable knockback anymore, which also did purge. Did it purge from the small guys as well? Like the glowing big water stuff monks in green chests and blue chests did purge with their undodgeable pushback attack. But I'm not sure if the small ones still purge with that. Not sure, not sure. I don't know if I need to prioritize going into the area. Probably don't have to. I can probably just chill and take everything slowly. But who knows? I don't know how contested gathering in the roads is here on the EU server. When I was running around in the low-level roads of Avalon maps, like 2, 3, 4 months ago, maybe 5 as well, I did find a lot of competition. Not sure if that's still the case. Okay, let's methodically check everything here. Here on the top also resource mobs, old resource mobs can spawn. Where have I already been? I think I went this way and checked out everything here. Okay, so I do want to just check out everything in zigzag basically, then check out the fiber area, then check out everything that's around the blue chest, and then I'm done with this map. Then it's over. Then I've taken everything in this map. I may have missed a tiny bit here and there, not really. I will have checked out almost everything. Checking out this, yeah. And then I can just go back to Sandrift Prairie and teleport for like nothing. Or even walk back into the Bridgewatch portal. Because I believe I was very close to town. Yeah. I was very close to town. Can I basically walk back? I will take a look at the teleport cost. If it costs like, I don't know, 30k, I will probably not walk. But if it costs like, I don't know, 50k, I will probably just walk the minute home or something. Probably the plan. So, just in case, I am going to want to throw away those things if my inventory gets too full. So let's place those things strategically. Okay, some nice and beautiful tier 7 trees. What's my level on tier 7 wood? Already level 10. Before I did spend learn points leveling tier 6 resources, tier 5 resources and tier 7 resources, the ones that I could gather before. I've just unlocked stone and hide gathering on tier 7, so I don't really have any levels there yet. I think I'm level 2 maybe for stone. And level 1 for skinning, pretty much. Pretty sure of that. Before I had a lot of learn points, so I did want to speed up my gathering progress. But right now that I'm so close to reaching those tier 7 and tier 8 levels, I do need way more learn points. So right now I'm saving those. I'm not putting them into auto learn. Into the auto learn feature to level up my tier 6, tier 7 and tier 8 resources further. First, let's unlock those tier 8 things. Because I'm very close to being a Grandmaster Fiber Gatherer, and I'm very close to reaching Grandmaster levels for ore as well. Likewise, let's save the learn points for now. So, another resource mob right here. A small enchanted tree down there. Not seeing anything crazy yet. And I probably want to prefer an efficient, like a path finding efficient, or efficient path finding way to check everything. Tier 7 fiber. It was quite the close fight, so I do need to play well. Oh, I wanted to use my armored. I do run into energy problems here, so I'm not 100% sure how I want to use my armor a second time. Already getting to the limits. But maybe I want to save a little bit of energy on my Qs. That's also a possibility. I do not need to spam my Qs this much. But I definitely need to keep the bleeding stacks going on for my E. And for the healing reduction and for the damage, of course. This time it wasn't so close. Like in the last Rhodes run that I did, it was a little bit rougher to kill this thing. It was quite a bit closer. This time it was quite a bit. I was still on like 30% HP or something. So I could have definitely lived quite a bit longer. And I really didn't change much. I used less Qs this time. I did use my double E right in the beginning, which is a difference, meaning I heal quite a big amount. 318 HP is a lot when you have a damage reduction of 74%. So basically you can multiply the HP by 3. I can take 3 times the damage of that more. So I can take 900 damage more. So definitely pretty crazy. I mean, it's not really that true because you never see the natural numbers, if you know what I mean. You never see the actual numbers of how much damage these things deal. But I mean, when you look at how much damage I've taken from the standard attacks from this mob right here, then you can just multiply it by the damage reduction that I have. 2,800 silver. Getting quite the decent amount of money from this thing. It does take a while to kill it. It does also take a while to gather it. But considering I'm just a tier 6 fiber gatherer, I have been here already, so I want to check out the other way. Considering that I'm just a tier 6 fiber gatherer, getting those 80k like that, really not bad. Really not bad. Tier 5 fiber. I will gather it pretty quickly. It will give me a lot of fame. It may not be very valuable. But I'm also at the end of this run, basically. I'm almost done with this whole map. And I have a lot of carry weight to spare. So I probably just want to kill it, right? And gather it. It's not going to take insane amounts of time. It also doesn't take very long to kill it, because it's just tier 5. 267, that's really not much money. But it's 104 pieces and I gather it extremely quickly. Oh, my pork pie ran out. How much money is this going to give me? 5k, and I have taken 10% of it, so I will get 50k. I will get 50k silver, basically. 50, like, loot worth 50k silver. Is this worth the time? It definitely gives me a decent amount of fame for leveling up to tier 7. I probably don't want to gather this kind of stuff. Now that I've already killed it and etc., I will probably take this whole thing now, right now. But I think in the future I'm only going to take all 5.2 resource mobs. If I go gathering in this manner, using this style. For sure, if I was a tier 8 fiber gatherer, I would immediately soak up this whole thing, gathering twice as quickly, so 4 times as quickly, plus having a few more tier 5 levels as well. I would gather this very quickly. Right now it's kind of quick considering the amount that I'm getting, but it's still pretty slow, like 1, 2, 3 seconds. Times 104 means 312 seconds. That's 5 minutes. Actually takes me 5 minutes to gather this. And 50k silver in 5 minutes is actually not good. It's actually not good. But it's also quite a bit of fame. Quite a bit of fame. But 50k in 5 minutes. Doing this actually reduces the amount of loot per time I'm getting right now. So definitely in the future I'm not going to take flat tier 5 anymore. Maybe I should take flat tier 5 animals, but probably not either. Maybe. Depends on how much they give per piece. If they give like... If they give 500, then I would get 100k in 5 minutes. I gather it... Nah, not 5 minutes, like 2.5 minutes only, because I gather it twice as quickly. I gather this very quickly. Like, look. One... Like 1 second. I have a higher gathering bonus as well, because I have more levels in tier 5 wood gathering. I do not get up towards... what's it called? tier 8 anymore, because I am already tier 8. So I do have less benefit in this way, considering this thing, but I'm already level 57. So I also get a higher gathering bonus. But like this, here I'm gathering super fast. It cost me 100 seconds to gather this. And I will get like 50k. So basically 50k in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. It's a way different story than 50k for 5 minutes. That's a way different thing. So actually taking the wood looks kind of worth it. 50k in 1.5 minutes. Let's try to make good numbers out of that. Is that even possible? But first of all, let's check out the rest here and then go towards the fiber area. Nice place here. A lot of resource mobs at once. Great. 1.5 minutes. One and a half minutes. How do I make a nice number out of that? I don't really, right? Like times 2 is 3 minutes. 3 minutes equals 100k. So times 10 is half an hour equals 500k. No, wait a second. Equals 1 million. 1 million in half an hour means 2 million per hour. Actually good numbers, now that I think about it. Now that I've noticed this. So actually, gathering all those old tier 5 wood things equals 2 million per hour. The higher my gathering levels for tier 5 become, the higher this whole thing also becomes. So probably actually worth it to take these trees. And for the other professions, it's probably also worth it because I do get the fame. I do get a pretty good amount of fame to actually reach tier 8 and to have a similar amount of profit from all these other tier 5 resources. And except stone, all the other tier 5 resources are more valuable than wood when they're not enchanted. They are indeed more valuable. Interesting. Interesting. Do I even need 1 second? I would try to count. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It feels almost like I need a little bit less than a second, but maybe not. I do not exactly know from just my feelings how quick 1 second is. I would basically need a clock or something. But also my levels are going to increase slowly, surely only slowly, but approximately this equals to 2 million per hour if I was constantly doing this, which is probably good enough. So I actually probably am interested in taking this stuff. It does give a little bit less money though, so I have more than half of the amount of the fiber, and it's still not twice the amount of estimated market value. Wood is slightly worse, but it should be good enough. I think I'll probably take those tier 5 things. Thinking about it this way also basically means that 5.1 old resource mobs are 100% worth it. I'm not sure about stone. I probably only want to take 5.2 stone. But all the other resources except stone are most likely worth it. Yeah, this area is garbage. This area definitely is complete garbage. Well, I was too far away to actually hit my cube. For some reason, the trees are also the tankiest ones, I believe. When I'm fighting them solo, they do not die that quickly compared to all the other ones. When I have multiple ones at once, it's somewhat difficult to see because I do standard attack relatively randomly, in a sense. Not really, but because I basically always try to attack them in a way so they all got the same HP. So I benefit the most from my AoE damage since these mobs are not healing. If they would be healing, it would be a different story where it would be way more efficient to just focus one down. But they are not healing. So I just want to spread my damage evenly. Likewise, I'm not randomly in any sense, but in a targeted way, focusing those with the most HP when I'm doing groups of resource mobs at once. Like this fiber thing only needed one more standard attack compared to the tier 6 tree that needed 2 more Qs to actually die. So definitely the fiber thing is less tanky than the tree. The animals seem to be the least tanky. Yeah, I do remember the tree had 1550 HP. These slate elementals only have... wait a second. I do have the percentage HP reduction on my armor activated, of course. What else would I do? And after I triggered it, they only had 1200 HP. I definitely had triggered this passive effect from my standard attacks from my armor on the wood thing as well, likewise. Likewise, the tree is quite a bit more tanky for some reason. Has quite a bit more HP than those dryads, those runic ore elementals, and those slate elementals. For some reason, the trees are way tankier. I'm almost done with this map. 1450, 1470. Okay, the difference between those elementals is definitely almost non-existent. And the slate elemental for some reason dodged all of my attacks. These random movements of these mobs are pretty hard to predict. Because you simply cannot tell if they will move to the left or to the right. I do know that if I go, let's say north, west, south, and east. If I go to the south, the elemental is going to chase me, basically. The thing is just, it's not going to chase me in a straight line, but it's going to my side for some reason, as if it wanted to dodge. And I mean, probably that's just the intention of the developers, I would assume. Because why the hell would you do that? It cannot be a straight line, or the servers are just really bad. Those are the options. Either those weird movements where they... all the mobs, actually. All the melee mobs, to be honest. Only the melee mobs actually somehow randomly, I guess, choose to either go to the left or the right when they are basically supposed to run at you in a straight line to continuously be able to use standard attacks against you. For some reason they seem to move towards the side. I don't know if they always do that, to be honest. Maybe they don't always do that. I believe there were already mobs who chased me in a straight line, but maybe those were ranged mobs. It's possible that those were ranged mobs who did that. Definitely possible. Were there ever melee mobs who went to me in a straight line, like they are supposed to do, supposed to be, whatever? I mean, it's just faster, right? Higher DPS, if you take the direct way. But maybe they are not restricted in such ways. Maybe they can do their standard attacks, despite not being... Maybe, like, what I mean right now is... if they move to the side, here in this game, just like in all the other MOBAs as well, you can attack, animation cancel, move a little bit and attack again without basically losing DPS. So maybe they are kind of doing that, maybe they're not, who knows, maybe they just walk a farther way and attack later. Didn't really pay that much attention to what these mobs are doing, to be honest. But this may be the case. So I'm totally done with this whole complete map, basically. Like, there are tiny little places where I haven't been. Teleporting here costs 33k, but I'm so super close to the map, to the town. It doesn't even take me a minute to walk this way. This costs me like 20 seconds or something. And 30k in 20 seconds, probably a really good deal. That's a lot of money, I think. I can actually like quickly calculate that. That's 30k, 90k in 1 minute times 60. 60 times 90 is 1.5 million per hour. That's actually not that good. It would actually be worth it to teleport in this case. 30k silver are really not that much. Okay, okay, good to know. If it was really 20 seconds, because maybe it was 10 seconds. And 10 seconds would mean 3 million per hour, and that would be pretty good profit for a solo gatherer. So, I've been running around for about 45 minutes. I got 1.37 million loot, which is not that great, but I felt like I didn't find too many resource mobs in this map. Maybe those maps close to these portals are not that great. I do always have the option to just go one map further and hope that those roads maps are better. Definitely an option. I may consider that in the future. The loot is not terrible, but it's also not great. It's definitely not 2 million per hour worthy. I would have, like, if you would calculate this up, I would get, like, I don't know, maybe 1.8, 1.9, which is already pretty close. Well, probably more like 1.8. 25% of 1.4 is not that insanely much.